Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Bills Roundtable, your live play-by-play reaction to day 2 of Buffalo Bills training camp. To my understanding, we should be hearing from defensive coordinator Jim Leonard in just a couple of minutes. On top of that, we are going to sit in our chairs and everything that happens out on the field. My goal is to consolidate each and every single piece of information as if you guys were sitting right there in the stadium like you should be. It's a beautiful thing, man. Whether or not that you are at work, whether or not you're out running errands, I am here for you to keep you informed. Guys, you already know the drill. Got to give a giant shout out to one of our proud partners here today, and that's just William Matar. Folks, if you were ever hurt in a car, you have got to call William Matar, #1 car accident attorney in the state of New York. We love you over here, William. Thank you so much for always being a proud partner. Folks, just to give you a breakdown of what is happening so far, we have something from Sal Capaccio, which you love to see. Not raining today. And surprisingly enough, I think my favorite thing about camp yesterday was not some of the highlight catches we got from DJ Moore, was not the take it to the house run from James Cook, and then also some encouraging news from the defensive side of the football, but was more so that Buffalo somehow, some way, got out of piss poor conditions scot-free. No injuries to report. I'm going to knock on wood. Hope that that doesn't happen today or throughout the remainder of camp, but you got to love it. I'm glad that the rain has ceased. Seems like Bills Mafia is exceptionally excited to get into the stadium and watch day 2 of practice. I certainly cannot wait, guys. What's going on, man? 25 of you are already in here. I'm going to need each and every single one of you to hit that thumbs up sign for us. Yesterday at peak, we had 340 people sitting down and listening to me just, talk training camp, talk with the boys. So hit that thumbs up sign for me. Let's see if we can beat that. I would love 500 people to be in here at one moment today. Let me go ahead and break it down for you. What's up, Dan? I was off yesterday and slept through yesterday's stream. Going to have to go back and watch it, but happy to see you doing a live. Spidey Mun, I'm back, man. Listen, man, no problem. You get that sleep. You get that sleep, man. There is no issue there. Beautiful thing. Double checking a couple of things here, guys. Double checking a couple of things. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and see what is going on with the chat as you are coming in. JTL is in the building. Dan the man, hope all is well, my brother. Beanie Man 95. It's been a while, man. I hope all has been well with you as well. As many of you guys know, we've had some developments over at Roundtable Sports. So as far as my live streams this year, vast majority of the time you will see me live is going to be on Roundtable properties. So whether or not that it's here on Bills Roundtable, if it's on AFC East Roundtable, that is where you will see me live. Most of my content on my regular channel is now going to become pre-recorded. It just takes a hell of a lot less time. And then that way I can focus on building these things, focus on other CEO responsibilities. And you know the deal, man. Good morning, Dan. Olean, New York. Go Bills. Deborah, what is going on? Coleman returning punts was very interesting. Yeah, for some reason, I feel like I remember a storyline last year at this time during camp where he was doing the exact same thing. I'm not sure if he's the lead candidate. Maybe the new special teams coordinator is just trying to figure out his chops, make sure that he has all the appropriate information to make a decision. Time, of course, will tell. They got him returning punts, so he feels useful. Oh, my God. Eric, man, we still have a lot of people who are not Keon Coleman fans, that is for sure. Driving for Uber, but tuned in Connecticut, Snoopy. You're the man, dude. Stay safe. Stay safe. Like Snoopy. I mean, I encourage you, man. If you are going about your workday and you just want to make sure, right? Like you just want to make sure that you are informed of Buffalo Bills news coming out of camp without having to wait until the conclusion of your evening and coming home and trying to scrape together a bunch of information and trying to put the pieces together yourself. I will consolidate it all and you will be informed immediately as if you were sitting in the stands yourself. 9 minutes, I believe, is the countdown until we hear from Jim Leonard. And I got to tell you, that is probably the most anticipated interview of camp. Yesterday, Joe Brady was exciting, but I mean, we've heard from him already several times, as a matter of fact. With Jim Leonard, I want to say that this is one of the few times we have heard from him. Obviously, once he was hired, I think that we heard from him once during the spring. I could be wrong. But this is really where I hope that we're able to get some information, because that's the biggest question coming out of Buffalo is, look, biggest problem with this team was playoff defense. Biggest problem with this team was predictability on the defensive side of the football. Run defense was an issue. Getting to the quarterback was an issue. Now we're bringing in somebody that's completely flipping the scheme on its head. So you're damn right. I want to hear how guys are looking in a new scheme and get a better sense of how confident Jim Leonard is that this group of personnel can execute his vision. That's my thought. Hickory, North Carolina, go Bills. Pez is already going in with the roll call. Don't worry, roll call is coming in here soon. Roll call is coming in here soon. Josh did say Keon's getting even better at back shoulder throws. If he's going to make an impact, it's going to be those plays. 13-4 coming in hot this season. Pez, hey, man, listen, I would not be upset with a 13-4 type season from this Buffalo Bills team. As far as like what I think floor and ceiling is for this organization, floor for me is 13 and ceiling for me is 13-4. Floor is 11-6. Tough schedule, but I feel like that we don't put enough weight into how good this Buffalo Bills team is at home. We are a tremendous home team. I would argue that we are the best home team in the NFL by a pretty significant margin. From 2020 to now, the Buffalo Bills, in fact, I'm pretty sure I actually hyped this up on a video on my own channel about a week or so ago. Here, let me see. Best NFL home record since 2020. Look at this. Was not lying to you. Since 2020, the Buffalo Bills have a 42-9 record at home. Next team below us just so happens to be the Kansas City Chiefs. That's 13 losses at home, where Buffalo only has 9 losses at home. And if you want to take out the Cincinnati loss in the playoffs, you also want to take away the Chiefs loss in the playoffs as well. Both of them, I want to say, I mean, what is that? Like 6 losses. And then say that you also wanted to take out like games in which that were throwaways, where we just didn't have our starters out there for the last couple of weeks out of the season. I mean, guys, like we are a tremendous home team. So when I look at that, I never apologize for saying that Buffalo's floor is going to be 13-4, because there's no way in hell, barring a major injury, that this Bills team is not going to win, 12 to 13 plus games or have a significant win percentage when it comes at home. It just doesn't happen with Buffalo. It just doesn't happen. I hope Josh Allen and Moore keep building a great connection, because they could be scary duo. To my understanding, based off of everything that I heard, it was up and down. But granted, it was torrentially downpouring yesterday. So I'm sure that there were some adjustments that needed to be made. But a couple highlight reel grabs from DJ Moore going into day one, and that's encouraging. I sit here, I'm optimistic with how I believe DJ Moore is going to be utilized in this offense. And I think the dividends will pay off. I genuinely believe wholeheartedly that you're looking at a 1,000-yard plus wide receiver. I still think we spread the ball around a lot, but I do think that a DJ Moore being heavily favored with targets is a strong possibility. I really, really do. How many throwaway games did the Chiefs have at home? They all count. Touche, Roy. Touche. But like I said, best home team in the NFL since 2020. I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then maybe our defense will show up. I think that'll be the thing. Bills DC. All right, look, sounds like Leonard is on the podium. Once I refresh, we'll probably see it. Day one was awesome. Always great to be back on the field. Folks, hit that thumbs up sign. Let's go. What am I doing? Hold on. Where is this, man? Let's see. Buffalo Bills. Seems like he's on the podium, but the stream hasn't come through yet. Should be here soon. Should be here soon. A special thanks to everybody that is coming in. We are waiting for the stream to begin to welcome Jim Leonard in on the conversation because we got to understand how this defense is going, folks. It is going to happen here. WGRZ has it on. Let's see. I think the Bills should be streaming it here momentarily. Have to be careful streaming news stuff. They've taken down, it's not WGRZ, but some other news place that I will not mention has actually struck down somebody's YouTube channel I once knew. Here we go.
That frees up a guy like Ed, and we have some experience around him, some guys that know how to play off of interior D linemen, right? You look at a Bradley Chubb, you look at Greg Rousseau, Greg's obviously had a ton of reps with Ed. So the more experience you have around a guy like Ed, it frees him up and it allows him to kind of be the key piece of it and guys to play off of him.
Yesterday you had Dion and Dwayne Carter at nose, especially when the pads come on. What do you want to see from those guys when you're in that front, just to evaluate where they're at, whether they can help you there?
Yeah, the whole front is when we get pads on, that's the true evaluation. Alignment, assignment, they've done a great job. There's going to be some huge battles up front, and a big piece of that is the nose, right? How many snaps do we want Dion at nose versus possibly 4-eye? Dwayne Carter, what is his role? There's a number of guys, Fedarian Mathis, there's a lot of guys that are going to be moving around. You'll see them at different places during camp, and just want to see how many snaps we think they can function in different roles for us. And I'm excited about the group. They had a great offseason. Physically they came back in great shape, and now you're just kind of itching to get the pads on to where we can truly evaluate it against a great offensive line, a great scheme, especially in the run game with what we do here at the Bills. So I'm excited about that. They test me every day.
How much of a transition is it going to be for Greg Rousseau to go from the 4-3 defensive end to an outside stand-up linebacker? I mean, is there more to it than we think, or is there less to it for him to be able to transition to that role?
I think the number one thing was to try to show him how much carries over, right? From what he's done his whole life, the roles he's been asked to do, how much carries over, and then get him to understand the differences and how do we bridge that gap. And he's done a good job of understanding what we're trying to do. We think it's going to allow him to get to his length a little bit better than it has in the past. There's times he's gotten jammed up just with limited space. And obviously he's a unique athlete with his size, with his length. We're really excited to get him a little bit more space, right? We're not trying to go crazy, but get him a little bit more space to allow him to have a little bit more vision, see what's going on, and then be able to get to that length, whether it's the run or the pass game.
Jim, how much have you seen Bradley Chubb's leadership kind of rub off on some of the younger guys that are up there?
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, you go through the free agency process and you talk to guys and, they can make their spiel. You talk to different people around the league and you get their input about it. And from day one, it's natural. He doesn't have to
like this guy.
Who he is. He's a natural leader. Guys want to follow him, great professional habits, you name it. He's knocked that out of the park. So on top of being a great player, he knows the system. He's played in a very similar system, right? That's kind of what he grew up in Denver. So excited for the on the field leadership he can provide, and that was the biggest thing we had to sell him. You talked about the leadership and how you can help young guys grow around you, but number one, just be a player, be a great football player for us. And it's always great when guys can handle both and not blink, and he's one of those people.
For a player like Cole Bishop, who had a kind of a breakout year last year, how do you improve upon that, and how does he actually go about making that improvement happen? How hard is it to improve? How does he go about making it happen?
Yeah, I think for a guy like Cole, when you have that breakout and the system changes, right, sometimes you panic a little bit early. And that, having him a little bit limited in the offseason, I think was good. We're able to have a lot more one-on-one conversations with him and teach the scheme and show him how he fits rather than just being thrown into the fire of trying to compete and execute every single day. And that was the number one thing I tried, trying to turn the situation that we had in the offseason into a really positive one that way. This will free him up, just like Ed. You know, you talk about Ed up front and the different things we can do with him. The safety group, I see the same way. You know, I was always a Swiss Army knife that kind of did a lot of different things, and that's what I like my safety group to be. There's going to be a lot of different roles and a lot of different positions and techniques they're asked to do. And that fits Cole Bishop's play style and his personality very well.
Jim, there's a natural break-in period with any coach and scheme and coach. How do you square the vision that you have in this defense and knowing that it may take a little bit more time?
Yeah, my job, you know, being a professional, is to try to make that break-in period as short as possible, right? There always is one, because you're learning new players. They're learning me, right? We're getting comfortable with each other. Over communicating is probably the number one thing that I can do, trying to let them get in my brain, right? Like, what am I thinking? How do I see this playing out? Being very open, which sometimes I don't want to be, but that's the fastest way, right? If you get that communication and trust back and forth with your coaches and players, that's going to give them the best chance to get there faster.
In what way do you not want to be open? What do you mean by
that's just not my personality. I'm more reserved. I like to sit back and just take it all in, read people, you know, read the room, that type of stuff. But in a new situation like this, like, I have to talk. Like, I have to get into these different rooms and groups and just kind of see where their head is at, what they're thinking, what's easy, what's hard. You know, like, I have to ask more questions and not just sit back and assume anything.
Where are you in that process?
Does Max Hairston's skill set fit, and what do you need to see out of Max?
Yeah, Max is a man corner. Like, he can run, he can challenge. You know, anytime you have that speed and quickness at an elite level, you know, it allows you to play a lot of man coverage. But the number one thing that I noticed coming out of college, he can take the ball away, right? He can take the ball away. So with a guy like Max, it's the ability to mix and match playing man coverage, challenging receivers, but having vision on the quarterback to take the ball away, because that's one of his biggest things. And obviously it's the number one stat in defense, right? Taking the ball away.
Play off that question. How concerned are you behind Benford with the youth you have, especially boundaries? You've got a rookie, a second-year guy who can play a whole lot. Is that at all a concern as you get going here?
Yeah, there's a number of depth concerns, right? I think you're always looking to make that roster better, right? Whether it's at corner, just not a ton of experience past the first group, right? That's going to be a heated battle among many during camp. So definitely one we have our eyes on. We like who we have. We like the talent. We like where they're at currently. There's a lot to be determined on that field, and they're going to get the opportunity to go compete and win roles. Also why I love the safety group and the versatility. You know, they've done a great job here in the past with kind of that tweener safety nickel body type. And, you know, we're going to continue to build off that and find roles for those guys.
Jim, how do you guys learn them with the short amount of time in training camp, and they don't hit as much as the old days or the two-a days, where you can find these guys, teach these guys how to textbook tackle, like that tackle the guy for Denver made against Cook in the playoff. I hadn't seen the textbook. I mean, that was just a perfect hit and it actually caused a fumble in the playoff game. How do you get a chance to teach these guys the proper way of tackling?
Yeah, to me, that's one of the biggest separators in the NFL, right? Is who can tackle and who can't tackle, right? And there's a natural element, right? If guys don't bite coming out of college, it's hard to turn them into great tacklers. But as a coaching staff, like, you have to emphasize it. You have to find ways to be creative, to create the finish part of a tackle, because that's not happening, right? There's so much where you have to protect your guys and protect the team with the length of the season. But I think that is ultimately one of the biggest separators in the NFL is, can you turn the tape on and you see a team that tackles really well or a team that's inconsistent? So it's a huge focus of ours.
Do you feel they need to be more physical in practices or tackling going live in camp?
You're talking to a guy who broke his leg in practice being physical. So, yeah, there's a give and a take, right? You have to get guys to understand there's only one way to play the game, right? Like, you have to play it with a certain intensity. Does not mean you have to take guys to the ground, right? I mean, you can teach a lot of things in the settings that we do. You just have to be careful you're not teaching bad habits indirectly, right, as far as pad level and finish and that type of stuff. So I think how we emphasize things in the meetings and some of the drill work we do early in practice has to be correct in order to continue to build.
By your coaching style, just like listening, asking questions, learning about the group that you have, what's the biggest thing that you've learned since you stepped foot in this building?
To me, I was just blown away. Professional habits in the meeting room, right? There's obviously been a good foundation with this group of guys, and you start putting on film and you're talking over calls and they're communicating within the group. They're making close calls, right? They're making coverage calls. They're making adjustments and alerts. And this was the first day, like we're installing a new call that they didn't know, right? So just to see kind of what the habits within a meeting room setting and then how you can take that to the field, like very interactive, and very few places I've been had that. Like when you walk in the door, right? You're always trying to create it and build it. But from day one to have that, you can coach to a certain level because like you're going to get response, right? You're not looking at chairs where they're just going, just tell me what I need to know and I'll figure it out later. So to me, that kind of ends up changing your teaching style, right? Because you're going to have those interactions. You're going to be able to fire questions and make the meetings more fun, right? It's more engaging for the players, and I think that helps them learn.
Is there a guy in particular that you walked in that meeting and like, he just gets it?
No, it was a group. I almost jumped back because so many guys start talking that fast, and it's like, oh shit, like, do I stop this? Like, I still got some things I want to say. Like, I don't know if you understand this the way that I want, but again, it just makes you go back and reevaluate kind of how you're going to interact with the players in that setting. And anytime you have that, like you're so far ahead. Like you're so far ahead because it's not like they're waiting to get on the field to have that interaction and communication, right? Our DBs are on the front, the backers are behind them. So you're seeing DBs turn around and actually make eye contact, and like that's going to carry over. There's no way that doesn't carry over to the field.
Johnson is a different personality than a lot of the guys that we see out here. Your personality, talking about listening and how you go about it, what have you seen from him, and how does that mesh with you?
He's the opposite. He's speaking first. I think every team needs a little bit of an edge, right? The biggest thing about CJ is his heart, man. He's got a huge heart. He means well, and he loves football. He loves to compete, right? Some of the other stuff, yeah, he's going to walk the line. He's going to cross the line, and you're going to have those conversations with him. It's important when you have a big, strong personality like that the group understands who he is and where he's coming from, right? Deep down, what does he believe? What's he all about? So as we get through camp, like that's a big piece with the players, with me, of getting guys to understand, why you play the game, right? Why are you the way you are? Like, how did we get here? So we'll go through some things where just building that trust and communication. But anytime you have those strong personalities and guys that want to speak out, they want to be in front of the group, like you just have to get the people around them to understand who they are, where they're coming from, and then you get buy-in. You don't always get people who agree with it, right? But you at least get an understanding of where people come from and the passion that they have, right? What drives them to what motivates them. And he's a winner, right? He's a competitor. He's a winner. He's been productive on the field, and that's going to help our defense as well.
Hey, Jim, is it a bit surreal for you to be back here specifically at Fisher and much different?
Yeah, obviously, in some ways, it feels a little full circle. Remember being in these dorms when they weren't quite as nice, and obviously, there's been a ton of upgrades. It was always a great place to go to camp because as a team, you do become closer, right? You're isolated, and it's a great setup. Not every team has this type of setting to have practice. The weather, obviously, here is a little bit better than some places where you're dealing with some of the heat issues, but training camps were always a little bit special, nerve-wracking, right? Because you're high stress and you're trying to make a team, especially being undrafted. But it is a little bit of a strange feeling walking around here, kind of feeling like you know it, but at the same time, it's a totally different feel just with the role I'm in.
Jim, you talked about Caleb specifically, but just how do you do that competition at inside linebacker with Dorian coming back and just the group as a whole?
Yeah, really excited to see how the beginning of camp starts to play out when guys are getting on the field and just the different combinations, right? Like how we can play guys off of each other and how many snaps. There's a number of guys that are going to have roles on special teams, right? So the depth of that position, I think, is extremely important as we go forward, and some unique and different skill sets, right, within the top part of that group. So can't wait till the pads come on. For linebackers, it's hard to get a true evaluation until the pads come on and you start getting into different situations. But early reviews are great, man. I love the way that they're playing and functioning within the defense.
Beyond the details of individual roles at a high level, what's the most important concepts players have to grasp and understand who played in the old defense that are going to be successful in yours?
I think, to me, there's probably going to be a little bit more volume than they've had, and to me, getting them to understand the reasoning behind it, right? It's not volume just to have a lot, to carry a lot of things and to put a lot of things on tape, right? It's still, in my mind, like we're doing things for a reason, right? We're not going to be reckless. The game planning behind it, there's going to be reasons. And that's where training camp, to me, gets hard, because you're installing to just put things on tape, right? So as a coach, you have to over communicate. All right, this is the situation, right? Maybe this is the skill set of the tight end, and that's the only reason we'd run this pressure. Like, there's certain things you have to communicate on within game planning, how you actually want to call this versus an off season or a training camp when you're just trying to get things installed and get things repped. There's plenty of things that we would not want to do against our offense, with that style of offense. And I think there's that fine balance of getting guys to understand, like, I want to dictate what offenses do. And the more we can carry into a game, we have options. We have adjustments that we can get to. But at the same time, I told him my very first thing is play speed and confidence. Like, if play speed or confidence start to go down, we're doing too much. We're not coaching it correctly. We have to make adjustments as a staff to put them in better positions to win.
In talking to different players about switching from a 4-3 to 3-4, it seems like a lot of players are really excited about the possibilities and opportunities. What do you see from the buy-in from players overall so far about switching?
I think overall it's you look at the front, right? You look at the D-line, the outside backers, the linebackers. From a DB perspective, they might act like they're excited, but there's not a lot that changes in their world, right? But I think from a front standpoint, they understand the differences. They understand from a blocking scheme standpoint, like what you force offenses to do, the one-on-ones that you can create, the angles that you can create in the run game. I think we have a smart group that understands the differences of that and how it can help them, right? How it can help free them up, isolate offensive linemen, which is what you want to do in the NFL, man. You want to take some of the double teams off and make it a little bit harder for those guys up front. So we have a smart group that understands what that's all about, and they're excited to have the opportunity to go make plays.
I hate to go off topic just a bit. The AP's doing a thing on the 25th anniversary of Corey Stranger's death. You were a freshman in Wisconsin, I believe, in 2000. In any way do you remember that, or did it influence you in any way, if you recall?
Well, obviously shocking, right? It was the first time that I really had seen something like that happen, and obviously we grew up in an era where you got after it, right? Workouts like designed to be very hard, and in a number of cases, like, they want people to fail, right? Not necessarily your whole team, but and I think it just made everyone kind of step back and reevaluate. Is that the right way? You have the heat issues. Like, what's the right way to be smart about this? You want to push your players. You want to push your team. Going through hard things as a team brings you together, right? Like, there's a lot of good behind running a training camp a certain way or a conditioning session a certain way. And I think it just made everyone, from coaches, players, medical staff, kind of step back and reevaluate, is this the right way to do things? But I mean, being young as a player, it was just kind of one of those, like, we're not invincible things, right? That was kind of the biggest piece you took from it, was like, oh man, we better take care of ourselves and take care of each other when you see things start to happen, as far as guys getting in trouble with whether it was heat or just a hard workload for the day.
Kind of innate pressure that comes from being a team. What have the conversations been like with him, and what are you looking to see out of him?
Yeah, number one, we communicated with him. We have some great experienced vets around you. Learn how to be a professional, learn the position. He did a great job. You know, he went down to Florida with Chubb. Like from day one, he's really turned into a, you know, just puppy dog to some of those older guys. Like just follow him around, learn from him. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's still, you know, it's funny. You get guys that they're drafted in a certain spot. Like he still feels like he's slighted, right? Like, man, I'm better than where I came out. We're glad we got him. You know, we're really glad we got him. He did an amazing job kind of transitioning his body over the last 6 weeks, putting himself in a great position here to put his best foot forward in camp. But he took everything we taught him in the spring and just soaked it all up. It's kind of drinking from a fire hose as a rookie because you have no break, right? You start your college season and you just go. So this last six weeks, you can tell just from the way he's carrying himself right now that he handled it the right way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gents, that was defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard. We heard quite a bit from him. Let me use, because I really wish you guys could see my notes, like when I'm just spamming everything I learned, like listening to this. So what do? I use handy dandy AI to organize them so we can go through them together. And I can do my job of informing you in case any of you were dozing off in a couple of those tidbits. But we certainly learned a lot. Let me see. Claude, can you organize these notes for me? There you go, baby. Listen, talk about quality artificial intelligence. Folks, 138 of you are in here. If you are just joining, my goal today is to consolidate every single piece of information that comes out of Bills training camp. So you can practically, by proxy, sit in the stands yourself and understand what is coming out of this team, what we are learning from the offensive and defensive side of the football. My goal is to keep you informed. So if you're working, if you're running errands right now, certainly feel free to keep this show on in the background. And once information comes across our desk here on the Bills Roundtable, you will be informed almost instantaneously. 142 of you in here. I ask all of you to hit that thumbs up sign for me. Easiest way to show love over here on the channel. This is the Bills Roundtable, a collaborative show that is typically with myself, Zbot, and Kevin Masari. And I really hope you guys subscribe and you join, because we have a show this afternoon, 4 p.m. EST, where we are breaking down training camp so far and key storylines. In case you ever get sick of hearing just me yap about the Buffalo Bills, I can at least provide some other insights for you. Do me a favor and roll call in the chat. You want to know why 147 of you are rocking with me right now, and I want to know where all 147 of you are located. Where does Bills Mafia truly extend? How far across the globe? Yesterday we had Singapore. Yesterday we had Portugal. I would really love to understand how far, all right, this fan base truly extends. Do not be shy. I ask each and every single one of you to participate. All right, this seems okay. Let's do this. Dude, AI, man. Look, you know what? It's either you adopt or you die. Adapt or die, a great man once said. All right, let's go ahead and take out the notes in which that we put together. And look at this, folks. Life as we know it. Have some Jim Leonhard press conference stuff. Let's go on ahead and read some of the biggest takeaways from this press conference prior to practice beginning in about 10 minutes. All right, guys, we have roll call starting already. Again, 147 of you watching. I expect 147 locations. Let's get hyped up, baby. Football is back. Thank the Lord. Yes, AI is great for content creation these days. It certainly is. AI basically does the work for you. Isn't it amazing? Look, dude, you have no idea what I have AI do for me. You have no idea what I have AI do for me. It is truly incredible. They should be practicing right now. In 10 minutes, I believe practice begins. I am not telling you, Buffalo is in the building. North Carolina. Vinny, what's going on, man? Hope all is well with you. Rochester, New York is in the building. RDI Pro. I appreciate that. Miami, Florida is in the building. Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lackawanna, New York, Norfolk, Virginia, North Carolina once again. Dude, my boy Vinny, he's repping North Carolina. He's proud, and I love it. What other channels do I need to follow? I'm new here. Timothy Lamont, let me tell you what. you can follow my personal channel, Dan Mitchell. That is my main channel. This is my collaborative channel. And then also check out the AFC East Roundtable. That is where myself and our AFC East rivals debate each other twice a week during the season. You don't want to miss that, I promise. Marley is in the building. Palm Harbor, Florida. Mary, excuse me. Lockport, New York. Long Island, New York. Homer, New York. Palm Coast, Florida. Dayton, Ohio. Gettsville, New York. Let's go Bills. Walbridge, Ohio. Sacramento, California. Wolfgang, it is an early morning for you, man. Richard. Early morning for you, my friend. 5:22 a.m. My guy is locked in, wanting to know what's happening with his Buffalo Bills, and I can appreciate that. Cortland, New York, here ready for day 2. Go Bills. Good morning, Dan. Hamper Tide Gaming. What's going on, man? I hope all is well. Okay, we just heard from Jim Leonard. Here are the biggest takeaways. Let me double check and make sure that there's nothing we need to react to before we dive into this. Let me double check here. We have our standard walk-ins right now. Here's James Cook with his Guardian cap. You gotta love it. You got to love it. Timmy, what is going on? Followed all and notifications on. Go Bills. Timothy, I appreciate you, man. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the roundtable family. Okay, let's talk about this. Jim Leonard's conference organized notes. Thank you, artificial intelligence. Scheme change, switch to a 3-4. Now, the defense obviously moving to a 3-4, and Leonard frames several points around what that unlocks. First off, I love this. Again, he is reiterating that he thinks Gregory Rousseau is going to have a season this year. And we've talked about how his style of play could basically end up really elevating his game and finally being a first-round defensive end type production player. Like, I have been married to the fact that I think when it comes down to it at the end of the season, I think Gregory Rousseau leads this team in sacks. I don't think it's going to be like a Myles Garrett type season. However, I would not be surprised in the slightest if Gregory Rousseau has 11 plus like going into this season. Like there's just so much to where when you have your edge rushers lined up truly on the opposite shoulder of a damn tight end, they can do so much, especially if he figures out that nose tackle side of things, right? And then he ended up going into nose tackle. That's been a huge debate within this like fan base is what does he want? Does he want to go off of his college defensive coordinator days where he truly had your traditional nose tackle, or are there going to be a lot of changes similar to what we saw in Denver? We didn't know because Vance Joseph obviously had the keys to the defense for the Broncos. So we didn't know if that was something he intended on bringing over. Based off of his comments, I mean, he was talking about how important that position is, but he is not going to assign a player at one traditional type responsibility. He's saying, look, we could have Dion line up right as a nose tackle, but then sometimes we can line him up as a 4-eye. I think we'll probably get some tastes of what this is all about, at least throughout practice and some of the preseason. But the more I think about it, I think that's probably what it's going to be. He's excited about the group. And last but not least, he acknowledged that there will be more volume than these defenders have had before, but stressed it's not volume for its own sake. There's a reason. So it seems like that there's a level of intensity that Jim Leonard is trying to establish for this new scheme and players learning it. So that's wildly exciting. As far as players he discussed, we already talked about Gregory Rousseau, but you had Caleb Alarms, or he's getting extra reps with Bernard and Williams ramping up. So yesterday he started off with the first team, which was encouraging. And then Dorian ended up sort of slipping in with the first team as well. But Elarms, or a guy who a lot of us are predicting will take the starting role, has been getting quite a reps, and he's happy for him. Bishop spoke about the safety room a bit, saying that he wants safeties to be a Swiss Army knife. And you know what? Like a statement like that almost makes me feel like Jalen Kilgore is a name to watch going into this season, because that's exactly what he played over in South Carolina. So I almost wonder if when we're talking about starting safety tandems, that a starting safety tandem might not be a thing for this Buffalo Bills like defense. I wonder if like all four that make the roster, or three, I would say, I'd say Kilgore, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Cole Bishop, are regularly rotating based off of certain scheme desires, certain offenses in which that they're going against. I really think we're going to have a good time following this defense. I just hope it's not too complicated to a point to where, you know, we ultimately end up getting screwed in key moments. But of course, there's going to be growing pains as it comes around. Russo, we already mentioned, super excited about what he could do as a 3-4. He's high on Ed Oliver again. He says you have to make teams find him. So looks like he has a lot of plans for Ed Oliver. Max Harrison is interesting because we talked about this yesterday. He maintains he's a man corner, right? He says he has the speed to ultimately end up, you know, rolling with any wide receiver you possibly can. And then he also has the vision. Like his biggest strength going into this season or like in college was taking the football away. So I'm interested to see how Max Harrison transitions. I really, really am. CJ Gardner-Johnson. I mean, look, he's a dude. And I'm very interested to see how that personality meshes well with this defense. His quote saying that, yeah, he can cross the line every now and again, but a team needs an edge. And I got to tell you, man, he's been doing very well so far as that plays out. Safeties as Swiss Army knives. Leonard wants his safety group to be versatile. We saw that. Same thing with the culture. And one thing that really stood out to me as well, dude ultimately ended up giving love to Sean McDermott. It was pretty cool because when he ended up mentioning the fact that you go into a room and he saw how coachable and how professional everybody is when they were going through film and figuring out various things, that's incredible. He says that these guys are already like locked in and like overly professional. And he says new coaching opportunities for him, very few and far between. He said he was blown away by the professional habits in the meeting rooms and said communication on defense was great from day one. The Bills are clearly prioritizing health this year, and tackling will be a huge focus point. So that's kind of where we're at. But right here, really all of the quotes like going into it in case you wanted to take a look at that. And then we will be going over all of this on my pre-recorded video on my personal channel once this is all said and done. Okay, let's get to the chat real fast and see what we got. Josh Allen to James Cook. Man, we are already starting practice. You absolutely love to see it. Look at that. Look at that, man. Warming up and getting it going. Let me see what we got here. When do you think about the new rules for the Buffalo Bills? What do you think about the new rules for the Buffalo Bills? So I'm assuming you're talking about the tailgating rules. I don't really think that a lot has changed as far as what they expected before. Now, the question becomes, Brian, how will it be enforced? How strongly will it be enforced? I think that's the question. My guess, probably not much. What's up, Dan? Go Bills, Jacksonville, Florida. John Barker, how you doing? Go Bills. Josh, how you doing? Dan the Man, Bills Roundtable #1. Robert, what's going on, man? I hope all is well with you. I think in college, Max had no choice but to play zone, but Man is extremely physical at the line, as he showed it many times this year. Yeah, my thing has always been just because somebody is fast doesn't necessarily mean that they are a man corner or particularly good at it. But I hope Jim Leonard's right. And I would love to see what Max can do in practice. He's got the speed, but can you mix the responsibilities of covering a wide receiver in man while also maintaining your vision of being able to take the football away? That's interesting. What's up, Dan? Let's go, Buffalo. Still work lurking. Big Daddy, what's going on, man? You can work lurk as long as you would like. Like, share, subscribe. How you doing? Spuddy Munns. Do we have any sort of veteran coach on the defensive side of the ball to help Leonard? A lot of his guys from Wisconsin ended up coming into the within this coaching staff, and we went from there. Spidey, John Fox. He is in an advisory role, and with John Fox as well, who is a Super Bowl participating head coach, which is a beautiful thing. James Allen to James Cook. Josh Allen and James Cook. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? All right, folks, we're sitting here waiting for some practice updates. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I appreciate all of you for coming in here. A couple of quick plugs. Number one, you already know the deal here. Need to give a giant shout out to our good friends over at William Mattar. Number one car accident attorney in the state of New York. I wouldn't wish a car accident on anybody, but say that it does happen, make sure you give William Mattar a call. And then also, one thing I would like to remind everybody, the Bills Roundtable will be live this afternoon at 4 p.m. EST. So say, for example, that you would like to tap in, hang out with myself, Z-Bot, and Kevin Masari. Let's lock in. Tragically 716. Dan, are you going to be doing the all lives on the roundtable? We have Tragically 716. The all lives, I believe you're talking about our NFL show, Fourth and Forever. I am stepping away from that, and I have been replaced by a Washington Commanders YouTuber by the name of Rio Robinson. So he is going to be live with Richie and TD Monday through Friday, which is a very exciting thing. We had to change it up. Like I said, as my professional life has gotten crazy, and I need to have myself available for the back of the house of the business. But as far as this show, as far as Bills Roundtable that happens Mondays and Thursdays, you will see me. Same thing with the AFC East Roundtable. I will be there. But yeah, most lives that you'll see me live anywhere is going to be on this channel in the AFC East from now on. Dan, when's the next AFC East Roundtable? Next week. Next week, we are launching the full network. So we have every single divisional roundtable launched, ready to go, including the AFC East on Wednesdays. We will be announcing the specific schedule. I think we're getting back to later shows. So I think the show will begin at 7 p.m. EST now. Last year we did 6, partially because I'm a grandfather who is typically in bed by 9 p.m. every single night. But I'm taking one for the team, and we're starting the shows a bit later. The best work background noise. Thanks, Dan. No problem, RD. I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm able to keep you entertained while you go through your day-to-day, man. While you go through your day-to-day. Spidey, man. Hey, Spidey, don't worry. I'll be here, man. Look, man, you will see me. Bills Roundtable, and you'll see me on the AFC East Roundtable, and then also my pre-recorded videos on the main YouTube channel. Mike, I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Hey, Dan, joining a bit late from Singapore. Hope I can stay awake for the roundtable. 7 p.m. EST. I'm not sure what time it would be in Singapore at 7 p.m. EST. Let's figure it out. What time is it in Singapore when it's 7 p.m. EST? Let's see. It's 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. So the AFC East Roundtable Podcast Junkie would be at 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm not sure if you're an early bird or maybe you sleep in a little bit. Not sure. Not really Kamara usage, but 25 to 30 passes will be neat. Maybe you're talking about James Cook. I'd be all right with that, man. Except for he did have a dropping problem back when he was a really big part. Back when he was a really big part of the passing game. Want to be like Mike? What's up, man? What is up? Don't you find it ironic that there is a broken table in the new stadium, but they're now not allowing us to jump through tables? Go Bills. I didn't see we weren't allowed to jump through tables, but that could be it. Dan Mitchell live stream. Brian Webster. This is where you'll see the Dan Mitchell live streams. No more lives on the main channel. Very few of them. Mostly because, again, so Roundtable Sports ended up closing their seed round. So we raised $500,000 so we could scale the company. I am the CEO, so I have a lot of responsibilities nowadays. So I can't be streaming 2 to 3 hours a morning anymore, unfortunately. However, my pre-recorded videos will be coming, and you can see all my streams over here when I do that. What did I miss? Nothing. We heard from Leonard, which is beautiful. We're super excited about that. And we can go from that. Yes, they are stopping people from breaking tables because 2 people injured themselves bad last season. I don't think it's going to be very easy to enforce that. We'll see, though. We'll see. I think they tell people not to jump through tables for medical legal liabilities. Yeah. I think so, right? Like, in my opinion, I think it'll probably be, I probably think that it will be as enforced as jaywalking. I think that that's the case. What about any future game day streams? Don't know. Don't know about that. I'm going to be going to several games this year. So I'm going to week 1, and then I'm going to the home opener. And then I believe I'm going to the Thanksgiving game, and I believe I'm going to a couple of more away games as well. But I'm probably just going to be doing pre-records directly after the game. Maybe I'll do like a live pregame show, but for the most part, like live play-by-plays, like I just have too much going on, unfortunately. Could we restructure more contracts or get some players that turn free agency and get Stephon Diggs back in $5 million and Joe and Epinesa? We could theoretically, but will we? That's an entirely different question. They have never allowed the table jumping. They are just saying they will enforce it more, which is probably BS. Just park in the private lots if you want to play Macho Man. For sure. I just don't think it's going to be heavily enforced. I think it would be very difficult to enforce it at scale. But what can you do, man? What can you do? Don't think the Mafia will apply the rules. Like I said, that, and I don't think that they will strictly like be enforced. That's kind of where it's at. That's going to last about 2 seconds before a table gets smashed. Absolutely. Fun fact, week 1, that is my birthday. Dude, happy birthday, man. Happy future birthday, which is exciting. We got Josh Allen out here. He is just doing his standard training camp drills as we all sit here, wait patiently for some news tidbits that come out about 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. That's what we care about. It's still shorts and T-shirts, which is beautiful, but that's it. Can we play a Buffalo Bills song in the stadium? I feel like we do all the time. Did you see Dawkins and CJGC recruiting Diggs on Twitch? Wonder if we offered him a small contract. Probably wouldn't read too much into that. And so I feel like anytime there's a really big name available or potentially available for really anybody in the NFL, you always get stories about so-and-so from the Bills is recruiting this guy to come over. How many times did we hear that Deion Dawkins was recruiting somebody to come to the team? How many times have we heard that Von Miller was recruiting someone to come to the team? It really comes down to both of the front offices. That's who pulls the trigger, like, on these things. It comes down to what the front office wants. Doesn't really matter, say that a player is recruiting somebody to come back. That's typically just a storyline. So I'm holding my breath. I don't think that will happen. I wouldn't particularly be upset if it happened, but that's just me. I think we should bring back Brandon Cooks. Wouldn't that be ideal? You, Dan, no more AI. Do the work yourself. It's not that hard. Adapt or die, Blake. Adapt or die is always what I like to say, right? What I will do is I will use AI to advance my life as much as humanly possible. Because you know why? It helps me be even more efficient. The 2 to 3 hours I could take, or the 20, 30 minutes I could take to go on ahead and organize all of my notes could be maybe transitioned into entertaining you people, right? Or maybe it could be to me making sales calls to fill advertising space on the 100 plus creators that I represent. I could be doing that too. It's all about getting rid of the mundane. That's how I look at it. Smash that like button. Absolutely. Mr. Brightside is a Buffalo Bills song. I was really impressed with Leonard, such a different form of Babbage. I really thought that he was very well spoken. He seems highly intelligent, and I'm excited to see this implemented out on the field. Got to go, guys. Mike, you have the con. Thanks, bro. Dwayne, have a wonderful day, man. I appreciate you for tapping in, saying hello, and doing your thing. Emoji from Brian Webster, man. I love it. 201 of you are in the building. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We gained 600 people to this channel yesterday, which is wildly exciting. So subscribe if you haven't. All right, folks, I would love to get to about 3,000 by the end of this stream. And maybe we can get to 3,500 by the time myself, Zbot, and Kevin Masari go live at 4 p.m. EST. It is so important that you guys turn on bell notifications because I don't want you to miss that episode later. That's the real show on this channel. Me, Zbot, Kevin, Mondays and Thursdays. Don't want to miss it, man. We talk all this. But I'll tell you what, right in the meantime, I am thrilled that we get to hang out this morning and learn everything that's happening at training camp every single day. It will be another rainy day at Bills training camp. Looks like the rain is starting. I started the stream off by saying I'm excited that it's not going to be a monsoon right out at St. John Fisher. That doesn't appear to be the case anymore. I tweeted too soon. Well, here comes a light rain again as the Buffalo Bills are stretching. Let's make sure that we go 2 days in a row where the Buffalo Bills stay healthy throughout practice. One thing I think I've noticed about this, and tell me if you are on the same page, it's pretty clear that Buffalo is putting health at an utmost priority this training camp period for a couple of different reasons, right? Number one, we have far less publicly available practices out at training camp this year. There are only 7, where last year there was 9. Number two, when you look at how many practices happened within the first week last year, we had 3 practices in a row. Now we only have 2 practices in a row at any given moment. And we also heard from Jim Leonard saying he wants to let it be known from his defensive personnel that intensity is expected, but it almost seems like that this Bills team is doing whatever they can to mitigate injuries as much as possible. That was one thing, I think, a huge Achilles heel for the Buffalo Bills for a couple of years, and we don't really talk about it as often as we should. Injuries, man. When it came down to it, we can give a lot of shit to playoff defense, and we say, oh, in all of our playoff defenses, we let up 30-plus points in all of this. I challenge you to go back and look at the players that were unavailable during those playoff losses. And a lot of the times we heard from the previous coaching regime, we would get players hurt in practice on day 1 leading up to week 3 or week 4, full pads going as hard as humanly possible. So maybe the Buffalo Bills are trying to do whatever they can to be careful and preserve the health of our team as much as humanly possible. I am a massive advocate for that. We better beat the Lions for the home opener. That is my birthday. Samuel, I certainly hope that that's the case myself. Thanks for being live and your support. No problem. Love the fact Leonard was a former Bill. Absolutely. Are you going to be going live streaming during football season? On this channel with Kevin and Zbot, and then on the AFC East Roundtable. Now my regular channel is just going to be pre-recorded videos with the occasional live. So make sure you have bell notifications on because you never know when I'll be live. Maybe I'll really be feeling a live stream reaction one morning and I'll just go live. You'll never know. You'll never know. So make sure your bell notifications are turned on for my channel. But as far as live games, probably not anymore. Maybe occasionally, maybe maybe a big one, but most of my live streams will be pre-games, maybe, maybe a really big topic I'll go live. But as far as scheduled and stuff, yeah. But have no fear, I'm still posting content on that channel every single day, but it's more 10 to 15 minute pre-recorded videos where I just go through all of the trending news. And so I know you guys enjoy those as well. So just make sure you have all of that. But most of my live streams will be on this channel. Erie County in here. Let's go, Buffalo. I love it. That year we had AJ Klein calling the defense. Exactly. So yeah, we're willing to put a lot of the blame on the defense and losses, which, I mean, yeah, it deserves to go in that direction. But when you ultimately end up looking at why the defense struggled so much, a lot of it had to do with injuries. And that doesn't absolve McDermott of flack. Maybe he ran his practices a bit too intense. I don't know. For those who have Dan's Discord channel with anything he posts on his regular channel, you will get a notification from Discord if you have the channel unmuted. Mike, appreciate you for letting you know. I did end up posting the link in Discord this morning. I'm not sure if you saw. I'm going to have Dan Mitchell withdrawals with you not going live. Bellos. And so are you telling me you don't watch my pre-recorded videos? My heart is absolutely breaking. Have no fear, okay? You will see me live. It's just going to be on this one, okay? On this channel. And the AFC East Roundtable, and then maybe I'll do a couple of streams. I'm thinking about doing a Monday morning stream on this show, once the games are over with. So it might be on this one. But most of my lives will be on here. So have no fear. You'll still see me. And still support those pre-recorded videos for me as well, because I do whatever I can to make sure you guys are entertained. Happy for the growth of the roundtable, everyone involved. Found you about 2 years ago, and it's good to see you guys get your flowers. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Can we bring back a player, Shaq Thompson? I've been pounding the table for some additional linebacker depth, but I don't know. Wide receiver one things there. Oh, DJ Moore. A hell of a practice for DJ Moore yesterday. That much I can say. I watch everything, but I'll miss you punching Bob. Bella? There you go. It's all right. Don't worry. I will give Bob at least 2 punches per stream that you see me. I'll crash out a couple of times too. Okay, I'll crash out a couple of times. I know you guys like watching me beat the hell out of Bob, and that's completely fine. When are you doing your fantasy football draft? I haven't done that in about 2 years. I don't know. Don't know if I'm going to do it again. I might. Let me know. But I think regular fantasy football drafts for me is just really hard to keep track of, especially being a commissioner. So we'll see. Jason from Las Vegas, formerly of Western New York, Dunkirk. Jason. Las Vegas, man. Sin City. Should put a Drake May jersey on Bob. I'm not even sure, like, say I want, like, Patriots, like, memorabilia or attire in my house, let alone on Bob. I mean, we'll see. I always love watching Madden simulations between games going on, even if they don't mean much. Glad my name isn't Bob. Oh, man. Roy, you're the man, dude. You're the man, Roy. Josh Allen. All right, guys. Seems like the Buffalo Bills are going through their individual drills as we speak. So far, we have heard from Jim Leonard, where we heard some pretty interesting tidbits, I would say. He's super optimistic about the scheme change. He thinks that it's going to unlock a lot of players, such as Gregory Rousseau and Oliver as well. And then he had some interesting comments on nose tackle. I think it's kind of confirmed what we think was going to happen with the position, where it's more so rotating responsibilities, not only via players, but assignments. So I think that's going to be fun to see executed, but time will tell. Bills Roundtable, a team, Dan, Zebot, and Kevin going live. Can't wait. Thank you so much. 4 p.m. EST today, boys. 4 p.m. EST today. For those who will miss Dan's live game reactions, Buffalo Fanatics does live reacts as well. He does indeed. Pierre King Pierre is the man when it comes into live play-by-play reactions. Nah, ref uniforms are acceptable. Yes. Yes. In fact, you know what? Maybe we should hire someone to do live play-by-play reactions on this channel. Let me do some research. Let me do some research on that. Let's see what's going on, man. Skylar Bell. Shit, I haven't seen Skylar Bell doing his thing in a minute either. We should have liked all this stuff. Skylar Bell, man, look at that. By the way, fun fact about Skylar Bell, Josh Allen actually stayed back on day one of practice to work with Skylar Bell yesterday. You're telling me a veteran did that for a rookie? Is Josh excited about him? Could Skylar Bell actually be like a crazy contributor going into year one? I don't know. Will the 4 p.m. Bills Roundtable stream be right here or on a different channel? On this channel, Jesse. So make sure you subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. It's the Bills Roundtable. It's on this channel. Mondays and Thursdays in the regular season. For the remainder of August, I think we're only going Thursdays, but September, Mondays and Thursdays, once we preview games, what have you. That would be awesome, especially for areas that don't get every Bills game. Yeah, for sure. I can actually see if we can find somebody that can do a live play-by-play reaction on this channel. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that they're equally as crazy as I am when I watch Bills games, because I know you guys love that. Thanks, buddy. No problem, man. I go live tomorrow too for training camp. Hell yeah, man. I'm excited to see it. I heard that Skylar is older than Keon. Is that true? I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see. Skylar Bell. Skylar Bell is 24 years old. Yeah, he is. Skylar Bell is 24 years old, and Keon is 23. Interesting. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that. We got Skylar Bell, DJ Moore. I'm feeling good about this wide receiver room. If Skylar Bell can even be an above average rookie, I feel like we have nothing to complain about. If he could even be an above average rookie, watch out. Watch out, baby. All right, chat. Let me use the restroom real fast. I'll be right back. Smash that like button. By the way, while I'm gone, 214 of you are in the building. Roll call in the chat. Do not be shy. Where are you tuning in from? Always curious to hear, where do you fools live? Let me know, folks. Let me know. Where are you tuning in from? Thank you. We're here, baby. Do not be shy, folks. I got to hear where everyone's tuning in from. You got to love it. Wellsville, New York is in the building. Charleston, South Carolina. You love to see it. Olean, go Bills. From Honesdale, Pennsylvania. Nobody will match your craziness, Dan. You are unique, never change. Robert, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Where's training camp at? St. John Fisher. Nashville, Tennessee. Man, I'll tell you what, dude. I want to be in Nashville. I'm hoping eventually I can be in Nashville. Hopefully within the next year or so. Pittsburgh, outside of Rochester. Lackawanna, New York. Scott came in with a $5 donation. Scott, we always love your generosity over here. Thank you so much. Hey, Dan. At any of the positions, defense or offense, what are the chances one of the rookies beats out one of the veterans for the 53-man roster? So I got to tell you, back in the McDermott days, it was almost a guarantee that, say you were a rookie, very oftentimes you're not going to be getting a lot of playing time at the beginning, minus a couple of exceptions. Like Benford was one, and then here and there. We don't know what this coaching staff believes. Are they comfortable with throwing a rookie into the fire with the starting role? The easiest answer for me is probably Caleb Alarms, or I think that his skill set probably matches the best for Terrell Bernard. Maybe Dorian Williams could potentially beat him out, but I think Alarms or makes sense. And then, not particularly for a starting role, but like a lead contributor, Skylar Bell could potentially win out on wide receiver 3 targets, because that's a pretty big competition. You have Josh Palmer, Keon Coleman, and Skylar Bell. So all 3 of them will be on this team. But who's going to be getting the target share? Who's going to be getting the 3rd most targets going into this season? Time will tell. Bradley Chubb and Greg Rousseau starting their pass rush duo. Look at that. Bills running backs getting some drill work lined up in the boundary. from a true spread look. You love to see that. You love to see it, man. Boundary work. Boundary work for the Buffalo Bills. Running backs here. Let's go. I mean, you just love to see it. You just love to see it, man. Let's see. Let me make sure my notes are here. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Let's see. Diggs 1.0. I hope so. I hope so. What do we do with the 53-man roster? We have to cut some people who don't make the 53-man roster. Yeah, most definitely. I will be posting some content on my channel with that here later on once training camp is over, more than likely. Let's see. Denver, Colorado here. That's what I'm talking about. Who won the cup during the 53-man roster? Cuts haven't happened yet. Bell wearing Gabe's old number. Let's hope that's not a bad omen. Hopefully it's not. So what are they waiting on to get more depth on the defensive side of the football? I feel like we're missing one or two backups. My take is that this team feels comfortable with where they are. What I think this coaching staff and front office believes was that this Buffalo Bills team's biggest issue was scheme and injuries. So I think Buffalo is trying to do whatever they can to make what works. Starters, I feel very comfortable. I feel pretty comfortable with a lot of our backups on the defensive line. I feel very comfortable with that. I feel very comfortable with safeties. My two question marks, probably linebacker. If Buffalo makes any addition to the team with vets, it's going to be inside linebacker, and it's also going to be corner or boundary corner, if you will. But my question becomes, if that was truly their intention, why aren't they at camp getting reps now? You would think that that would be something they would want to roll these guys into. And you can make the argument, oh, well, so they're vets, Dan. Like maybe we just wanted to wait until after training camp to add them to the roster. They're vets, but I mean, at the same time, I think this is a brand new scheme, especially if the plan was to bring back a Shaq Thompson or a Tre'Davious White for vet depth help. It's still a new scheme, so you would assume that this would have been done already, but I don't know. Let's see. Jackson Hawes moving well on day 2 on Bills camp. Fluid, athletic in his routes during drill on special teams. Him being a more viable used option in the pass game when paired with how much he mashes as a blocker would open up the Bills menu diversity. Okay. All righty. Jackson Hawes is looking good, baby. You got to love it. Top Gear, Common, doesn't miss any meetings at training camp. Okay. I believe I saw Vita Vea got injured yesterday. I didn't know that he was participating in camp. Let me see. Say that he got injured. That's a problem. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from Vita Vea with the exception of that he just requested a trade. So I would assume he wouldn't even be participating in the first place. So I don't think that's a thing, but I could be wrong. Frewsburg, New York is in the building. Let's see. We got Drew, man alive. Jim Leonard really gets my blood moving. First time ever, and I'm not stoked about a coach over players. I like that. Injured. He just doesn't want to get hurt before he's traded, and the team trying to maximize his value. Oh, so I think you're talking about he's telling the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he's injured and he can't participate. More than likely. Yeah. He's not trying to get hurt while practicing for a team that he doesn't want to be a part of. So say that that's the case. I'm sure that is true. I don't think we will get Diggs back, but I think he would be a great addition for us. I think he knows he's not the man now. Yeah. I mean, look, I would not be upset whatsoever if that truly was the case. Hearing that Drake May and AJ Brown are looking horrible. Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I never really buy into training camp statistics. / I never really overreact to training camp news because number one, it's training camp. And number two, we hear things like that all the time. And then once the regular season gets in, yeah, And so they're fine. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma in the house. Bobby Wagner needs to be a build this year, especially with Dorian Williams still nursing his knee. What are your thoughts about having no fullback? Right now, we have 2 on the roster, but will they make the team? It's Van Sumeren and then Jackson Aker from Wisconsin. Both of them are good. Does Joe Brady truly want a fullback? I don't know. We'll see. There are 2 fullbacks in camp. He's dealing with back problems. Indeed. Is TJ Sanders going to start? He'll see playing time. He'll definitely see playing time. Based off of the depth chart, he is the other edge, right? Or like he is the other defensive end, or the 4i, if you will. He's opposite of Ed Oliver, but we shall see. Should bring in another kicker to compete. It's like the Buffalo Bills are in on Tyler Bass, man. Hopefully that is not an issue. All right. Alex Brasky's coming in saying Terrell Bernard didn't participate in team drills on day 1 of Bills training camp, but here's a look at him during individual drills on day 2, working with Dorian Williams. You'll love to see that. You love to see that. You'll love to see that. Bernard is actually practicing today. A slow ramp up, if you will. Rain is back. Rain is back, baby. Rain is back at St. John Fisher. What can you do, man? Instead of having a true fullback, I wouldn't mind someone like Hawes lining up in the backfield. I think that could be in play. That really could be in play. You know? And so a lot of the times, man, like fullback responsibilities do go to tight ends. Like sometimes, like when you're looking at rosters, like you'll see a guy listed as a tight end / fullback. Hawes potentially could be it. I don't know. Vrabel with the puppy at his presser yesterday. What a loser. Yeah, screw puppies, brother. No, I'm just kidding. I love puppies. All right? I love puppies. It feels like a stampede is in order. Real Bill, what's going on? We can't say 2 puts it through now. We cannot. For me, I'd rather have Brandon Cooks at this point if we bring in a vet wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, he said that he was going to be signed before camp. Still crickets on that one. Let's see what happens. My biggest takeaway, hopefully my biggest takeaway from practice is that nobody gets injured. I feel like that's the case. Let's figure it out. Oh, look at that. By the way, Scott, thank you again for this wonderful super chat, man. Your generosity is indeed the best. Folks, have some fun announcements for you as well. Like I said, Bills Roundtable twice a week in September, once a week starting this week. Thursday, myself, Kevin, and Zbot. We have a membership program too, which is interesting. Say, for example, you guys ever want an opportunity of being able to call into our shows, and that's our collaborative shows. We are going to be opening up lines very, very soon. So say, for example, you want that opportunity. We are going to be giving that to our members. That is $5 a month. It's the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, at Timmy Ho's, at Dunkin', wherever you drink coffee. I got eviscerated yesterday for saying that I'm a Dunkin' guy. It's okay. We can agree to disagree. But say, for example, you want to further support the channel. It's just $5 a month. I mean, helps us move forward and have an opportunity of being able to call into the show. Then that membership program is linked at the bottom. Is TJ Sanders going to start? I don't know. We'll see what's going on. He'll get snaps, but will he get the majority of the snaps? That's a different conversation. Like, there's so many different ways that Leonard can work this defensive line. Like, we've heard a couple of rumors that Landon Jackson may actually kick inside as a 4i as well. Maybe he's better as a 4i. Maybe he beats out TJ Sanders. We don't know at this point. What was the tailgating rule changes? You have to keep your tailgate clean and orderly. So the tailgates end once the game starts. So you need to be finished tailgating once the game starts. And that's just in lots owned by the stadium. So the outside lots are entirely different. I want that thing you're talking about. Dan the man, love the training camp streams. Sack prediction for Deion Walker this year. It's tough for me to predict that because I don't know whether or not he's going to be your true nose tackle or kick off to a 4-eye occasionally. But four is probably a good. Yeah, I'd say 4 is probably a good guess. Let me see. Starbucks or Dunkin' is the only choice in the town that I live in. Brian, I want that $5 a month thing you're talking about. Program Starbucks only. Brian, well, let me tell you what, man. Just hit that join button right below the stream, and we'll talk about it. Now, what about Landon Jackson? What are the plans for that? Josh Allen and Skylar Bell had a disconnect during drills. Uh-oh, ladies and gents. Let's go with this. And this is per Anthony at Cover One. Josh Allen and Skylar Bell had a disconnect during drills, leading to an incompletion. Allen called the Skylar to run it again so the two could be on the same page. Something to look. It's QB and rookie chemistry being established. That's what it is. A miscommunication for Sky Bell. I was just hyping up Skylar Bell on potentially winning, that wide receiver 3 responsibility. It's going to take time, man. It is going to take time indeed. Josh Allen and Skylar Bell, where are we at? Oh, I like that. Matthew Beauvais, thank you so much for the videos. Guys, let's definitely give a round of applause to the Beat for being out at practice and providing us all of this first look video footage that we get to react to. Like I said, they're doing a great job out there, so certainly give them the notoriety that they deserve for coming out and letting us have things to react to and discuss as fans, because we need to know things here. Okay, so the Bills' top 4 linebackers on day 1 and day 2 have been Bernard, Dorian Williams, Caleb Alarms-Orr, and Keontae Jenkins. Joe Andreessen on the outside looking in. Sounds like Buffalo Joe is set to be your special teams linebacker. I'm not buying in on Keontae Jenkins, though. I'm not buying on Keontae Jenkins being linebacker 4. So the more that I think about it, I think there's a pretty strong possibility here, chat, that a Shaq Thompson or Matt Milano reunion might be a bit more than we thought, man. So something to think about here. A lot more in breakers thus far is specifically Diggs from the Bills wide receiver through these first 2 days at camp compared to previous camps /season. So we're going a bit more advanced when it comes into the route tree early into training camp. Maybe Joe Brady does want to be a bit more aggressive when it comes into it. Landon Jackson, speak of the devil, definitely looks noticeably bigger. Maybe he is. Maybe he is going to be transitioning over to a 4-eye. I don't know. 27 just came in. Dano just got in. What did I miss? Oh, man. So far, it seems like this Buffalo Bills team is starting to do a little bit of wide receiver drills. We heard from Jim Leonard this morning, some really good tidbits. Have no fear. Say that you're joining late. I will be throwing out a full recap video on my YouTube channel later today. But yeah, so far, not so much. This is why this is training camp. I love to hear Josh and Bell are working out. Yeah, me too. I'm glad it's only training camp. How many touchdowns for DJ Moore this year? 7 to 8. But I do think that he will have a pretty good yardage season. I think he's well over 1,000. Could be more if we get creative with him around the goal line. How do you become a member for? You could just hit that membership button, the join button right below. 10 touchdowns for DJ Moore. Let's see what else we got. Next season, Patriots 10-7, Jets 8-9, Bills 7-10, Dolphins and 2-15. Interesting. I'm a big fan of Landon Jackson. I like him a lot, so I'm hoping he gets a lot of reps so we can see more of him. Morning, Dan. How you doing? I'm doing great, man. I hope you're doing well at the exact same time. We have Bernard and Dorian Williams are working together during individual drills. Is that the starting linebacker tandem, at least toward the beginning of camp? Look, say that a rookie does do it for us. He better have a clean as a bill type training camp performance. That's just how it is. Look at that, guys. We have new members coming in the building. Drew Lar is coming in the building. Drew, we appreciate that. Bella is also a new YouTube member. Folks, show some love to our brand new members on the Bills Roundtable channel. Let me talk to my team and see if we can start putting together some custom emojis with my face, Z-Bot's face, and Kevin Massari's face, and then also the call-in possibilities. But your donation to the membership program is beautiful. We're going to be working very hard to making sure we can continue to provide as many different benefits for you guys as possible. Welcome to the membership program, folks. Thank you so much. Benefits, of course, are custom emojis. I'm working on those. I will get those to you here soon. And then also the ability to call into the shows. All right. I think that we're going to be opening up lines next week, but super excited. Super excited for that. We love you guys. Thank you. Although the Bills should beat Detroit week 2, I love Dorian, but I'm really rooting to get there and there. Dude, Jacob, he just gifted one Bills Roundtable, man. Thank you. Who received it? Who received the Buffalo Bills membership? Let me see. Let me pull this up. It's because StreamYard doesn't show me. StreamYard doesn't always show me who was gifted the membership. Look at that, dude. Carl Knight was gifted a Bills Mafia membership program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Carl, you are now officially a member. Thank you so much. You know what else I think we can do? We could probably do chat priority. Chat priority, we could probably do that for members as well. I think that's pretty fair. Coming in from a chatter. Again, well worth the money to have content from you guys. 1,000,000 times better than shopping the Bulldog. Drew, we appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much. We try to give you the fans' perspective, right? Nothing against them because they work very, very hard. A lot of the times, like these guys went to school, like in Florida. They grew up being Kansas City Chiefs fans, and then they just end up moving to Buffalo, and they have to cover the Buffalo Bills as their job. There's really not the passion. There's not like the, oh, like I'm a fan of this team, and I got to give you my true thought process. That's kind of how we built Roundtable Sports, is that you're never going to have that. You're never going to hear from somebody that grew up in Dallas, Texas, that went to University of Florida to study journalism, and then they just end up landing a job in Buffalo to cover the Buffalo Bills. Like, nah, that's not how it works. Like at Roundtable, when you're getting analysis from a specific NFL team, that person's in the trenches. That person's been through all of the heartbreaks. He's been through all of the exciting wins, the gut-wrenching losses. So like you get that passion, and that's why I think that this whole thing has been so successful, which is very exciting. And we have a lot of exciting things here. Ryan's a member. Shout out, Ryan. Jacob's a member. Look at that, man. We appreciate that. DJ Moore just got loose for a 60-yard touchdown. Someone lost him in coverage late and 7-on-7 reps. Alford was closest, but deep enough into downs to know what went wrong. Dude, DJ Moore is come on, baby. Come on, guys. Celebrate in the chat. I need him to have his 1,000-yard season. The more that I hear from DJ Moore, the more exciting I'm starting to get. That's where I'm at. I'm a paid member on both Dan's channel. We get the most Bills news with Dan and his crew anywhere. Real Bill, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. That's bad on the defense. It is bad on the defense. Like I said prior to training camp beginning, I want the offense to look like shit. And I want the defense to dominate. But it's a new system. And like I said, folks, we only need marginal improvements on the defensive side of the football. Day 2 vibes. Oh, there you go. Get it, brother. Loud roar from the crowd at St. John Fisher after a Josh Allen hits DJ Moore for a long touchdown pass. 7-on-7s. Jalen Kilgore jumps a hitch from the slot for a pass breakup. Guys, I mean, you just can't beat that. You have Jalen Kilgore. He is a rookie. a rookie, a very highly touted player that could potentially see day one reps, man. There is always one. There is always one. And you love to see it. Loud roar, baby. Come on. Guys, we are in the thick of it right now. As you are coming in, hit that thumbs up sign for me. Easiest thing. Easiest way to support what we're doing over here at Roundtable Sports, man. We really appreciate you. Let's get it going. Day 2 vibes from DJ Moore. Josh Allen connected with DJ Moore on a bomb. You love to see it. Come on, man. Loud roar from... Training camp is here. Training camp is here. Kilgore could be a dog. He really could. DJ TD music to my ears. Not trying to be negative here, but I feel like we didn't bring in a big name in the offseason like we have in the past. I'd say that Moore is certainly a big name. Say Chubb's a pretty big name himself. It's not like a top 3 guy, but yeah, I don't know. I hope this is a sign of things to come for DJ Moore. I'm telling you, he is going to have a 1,000-yard plus season. I'm not going to overreact to training camp highlights, preseason games. Tell me what's up. I agree. Can you send me the link for a member? It's the join button right below this YouTube video. Kilgore could be a big part of our team for years to come. High hopes for him. Excited about Kilgore and Alford. I heard D. Alford got a pass breakup from Khalil Shakir, too. I love that. I love it, dude. D. Alford. D. Alford, baby. You love to see it. You love to see it, man. Fuck. All right, look, we have a couple of pass breakups. A great play from Josh Allen and DJ Moore. I don't think anybody's upset about this one. Football is here. Football is here indeed. How many days until training camp is over? This is the 6-second practice, and there is 5 left after this. Kilgore is going to be an all-pro. I love to see it. Dude, shout out to the members in the chat. Shout out to the members in the chat. D. Alford wasn't talked about enough. So my buddy Kevin, who is a co-host over here on the channel, is very excited about D. Alford. He just so happens to think it's one of the most strong like acquisitions we got with this offseason. And we should be excited. Isn't it logical to say the Bills defense improves by 5 positions in the rankings? That means Josh will get the ball back way more often, hence produce higher numbers. Theoretically, yeah, Greg. Like I said, and what I will do is I will beat this like a dead horse, right? This Bills defense doesn't need to be top 5. But this Bills defense does need to be middle of the pack, specifically in run defense and getting the quarterback. This Bills defense taking that jump and improving is enough for Buffalo to get over the hump, and I will maintain that. I will continue to maintain that take. That's all we need is run defense middle of the pack and getting to the quarterback middle of the pack. That's it. Last year, we were 23rd in pressure, 23rd in sacks. And just get me up to 14th in the NFL. Just get me up to 15th in the NFL for getting to the quarterback. Run defense, we were 31st. Just get me to 20th. Just get me to 20th in stopping the run. That gets it done. And because with this offense is not going to change, we have Josh Allen as our quarterback. So we're bringing back the rushing leader of 2025 in James Cook. We have an incredible offensive line. Our tight ends are great. And so the offense is not going to be a problem this year. But look, that's how I think everybody should be looking at this. We just need to be a middle of the pack defense when it comes into getting the quarterback and stopping the run. That's all. It's the goal. That's the goal, baby. That is the goal. Deion Walker putting in work during individual drills for Bills training camp. We already heard about the DJ Moore thing. A couple of pass breakups here from our DBs. which you love to see. Just get the job done and just stop the run. Yeah. Stop the run better than what you did last year. Yeah, like, look, I would love for us to be a top 5 run defense and top 5 in getting to the quarterback. And that would be a cherry on top for me. I would love it. That means like we would be like an unstoppable unit all across the board. But what gets it done for us, in my opinion, is just be a middle of the pack. That's it. Especially year one, right? We need to trade for Judy. Judy. I feel like we're okay. Yeah, I feel like we're okay. If we jump up 10 spots this year on those defensive metrics, imagine the leap when Leonard gets his personnel. 110%. That's exactly how I think that he should be judged. Secondary should be fine. The front 7 needs to step up and be big dogs, in my opinion. Robert, Bills defense top 15. I hope that would be nice. Look, like we were still a very good secondary last year, and now we have a guy that is secondary-minded becoming your defensive coordinator. So I really don't think we'll miss a beat in that category, right? Like not unless our current personnel is just lost out there with running predominantly man coverage or more man coverage than what they did last year. But I don't know. Jay, what's going on with Shaq Thompson? Would you like the Bills to bring him back? I would love for it to happen. Will it? That's a different question. Just need to take away the football. Yep. Defenses win championships. This defense needs to be good and stay healthy. I think that's probably even more important, in my opinion, is just like, have our starters healthy. What are your thoughts on the current special teams unit / coaching? So I feel like we're not going to know until week 1. And so I didn't even say preseason because I still think that they're mixing and matching. When you bring in a new head coach, there's going to be like different styles. As far as special teams, like with Buffalo, it wasn't that bad last year. We were actually pretty good. So we'll see what's going on with that. But we'll probably finish out relatively similarly to what last year. Landon Jackson, breakout year this year. I love it. Watching CJ Gardner-Johnson and Cole Bishop call out crossers and match them from depth has been fun to see these first 2 days of Bills camp. I love that. Dude, you love to see it. I would much rather Bobby Okereke as our vet linebacker signing. Yeah, look, do what you got to do, man. The new defense will be tested early this year with Rams, Lions, Ravens, and even Patriots earlier in the season. Excited to watch it play out. Yeah, me too. Coleman returning punts is interesting. It certainly is. Knicks 716. How are the rookies doing? Also, is Harrison and IGB sharing reps at CB2? As far as competition snaps so far, haven't heard much out of Harrison and IGB, but I do think that that's going to be a competition. And then as far as rookies, haven't really heard much, especially from the defensive line since no pads are on. We're not going to be able to figure out anything with the defensive line or offensive line this year yet until we put pads on. But Skylar Bell, I heard, had a miscommunication with Josh Allen earlier. But really outside of that, I think we're good. Is there any stuff on Tyler Bass at least making kicks, or is his sausage still hurting? I didn't hear any kicking news yesterday, probably because it was raining. That's when Tyler Bass hurt himself last year, was during a day like this where the field was very slick. He was kicking, and that's what's caused that sports hernia. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get any reps at all. Hot take, J17 wins QB1. I know. It's hot. Will you shotgun a beer with me at the first home game? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. What's the beer, though? What's the beer? I will gladly shotgun a beer with you, my friend. First home game? Yeah. You could find me and we will shotgun a beer together. I'm fine with that. Play action from the Bills sucks in the second level of the defense, and Josh Allen hits DJ Moore in stride on a dig for a running catch touchdown for 45 yards. Another incredible play here from DJ Moore. DJ Moore is having a day. Connection with Josh Allen today is on points. The DJ Moore and Josh Allen connection is looking very strong. Moore is snagging another ball over the middle and broke away for a touchdown on 11 on 11s. Guys, I feel like a lot of people on Twitter, so we're about to be feeling really silly when DJ Moore starts going off in the regular season. Because, man, did I see some slander about DJ Moore being the guy that we traded for. Good God, man. Y'all better be kissing Bean's feet once that guy goes off for 1,200 plus yards and finishes top 5 in receiving yards. Y'all better be kissing his feet. And trust me, I will ensure that it's happening. I really feel like if we can get a defense in the playoffs, we win the Super Bowl. Seen something saying that Buffalo is the most winningest team in all sports since 2020. No Super Bowl is crazy. It's true. I like IGB, but I prefer Harrison, at least as of now. I thought for a rookie who missed a lot of time, he showed up big time in some moments over the years. Yeah, I agree. The first time we hear Mr. Brightside, it feels like chills. DJ has 105 yards in practice. Oh, no, we're not doing training camp stats, are we? It's good to see the offense doing well, but also means the defense isn't. I know. I know. Though the first 2 days of Bills camp on coverage, their coverage in on 7-on-7 and during team has been more compact and operated with good spatula awareness between playing the way in zone and the more man-on-man they're using. Love to see that. Spatial awareness. Spatula. For a second, I was... Oh, here we go. Alex Brasky, dude, with the fucking incredible videos. Hold up. Guys, go follow Alex Brasky on X and show him some love on these clips. They are just incredible. DJ Moore over the middle. You'll love to see that. When Landon Jackson and TJ Sanders are both in for the Bills and base defense, it looks like Landon is the defensive end. Did we not just say that? Landon Jackson may be a 4-eye. Landon Jackson lining up as a 4-eye. I mean, dude, he's bulked up. DJ Moore is having a day. Moore runs a post in front of IGB. Quick look at Bradley Chubb. I'm not so much concerned about the trenches because we learned nothing from the first couple of days of camp. I just have a feeling DJ Moore will get over 120 targets. That's what he needs. Who's talking trash about CJ? What are you talking about? Watch the haters see DJ going crazy and Ravens fans and Patriots fans gone by saying Bills defense just suck just to hate. Do you know if the Bills have any ideas of re-signing Joey Bosa? Because I feel like the Vita Vea floating around it could be a great opportunity to fortify the D-line. Most of our losses in the playoffs is mental. I think the coaches tighten up and the team, dude, I love it. Can we please have an INT? I love it. Who's the current left guard right now for Buffalo? Is it Alec Anderson? Based off of early installs, it looks like Alec Anderson has been getting the reps. But then again, since I think there's so many question marks at the starting role, I think you'll be seeing a lot of rotating on that. Bills 5th round defensive tackle Zane Durant just had a would-be sack against Kyle Allen. Beat his man clean off the line. You got to love it. How can you be upset about this? Look at that. Hey, hold up, chat. And right below, with Anthony Cover 1 saying multiple would-be sacks for the Bills, first and second units for the team. Bills D-line is getting pressure, folks. Bills D-line is getting pressure. Bills D-line is getting a lot of pressure. You love to see it, but then again, no pads. So we can taper our expectations, but you know what? Let's not be the happiness police here. And let's get excited. Let's get excited. Nothing is worse than somebody that's a happiness police or a celebration police, you know? Hate people like that. And I don't surround myself with people like that. I suggest you do the exact same thing. Anyway, with DJ Moore, big catch and run, saw that. Let's see. I low-key forgot Brandon Cooks is still available and is a free agent. Punch the dummy, Dan. All right, bro. I got you. Yeah, I mean, y'all just love that. Yeah, y'all are about it, and I love it. Thank you so much. There has been talk that McGovern would switch the guard and, Cushenberry could play center. I would be very interested to hear that or see that take. Bills cornerback Connie Walker has had multiple sticky coverage reps in man coverage through his first 2 days of camp. Connie Walker. Interesting. Interessante. What does that say about the offensive lineman? Yeah, I don't know. Man. Like I said, no pads. So you can take that with a grain of salt. But we can go with that. Not going to lie, I don't want Cooks back after what happened in the divisional game against Denver. He should have held on to the football. People will be miserable no matter what. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, people will be mad. Yeah, dude. So here's my deal, right? So I refuse to believe that most people are like that. But since I've been on the internet for so long, a lot of the times me being in the Bills community, and since I haven't lived in Buffalo since I was 13 years old, my automatic assumption is 70 to 80% of the people that live up there are just wildly miserable. But then I start to tell myself this. I think it's a small minority of people that act that way and are just doom and gloom. I hate my life. I hate the world. I hate this team. I think it's a really small percentage, but 100% of that subsect is on the internet. That's kind of what I've convinced myself of. I think it's a fair theory for the most part. I mean, people smile. You know what I mean? That's my thing, dude. That's my thing. That old saying of you are the 5 people you surround yourself with the most is the most truest thing on the face of the planet, right? That's why I tend not to really surround myself with people that are pessimistic. That's me. It's TJ Sanders' birthday today. Happy birthday, TJ. What's up, Dan? How you doing? Most are engagement bots, Dan. Most of the internet is. The dark internet theory? I think so too. I think a lot of it is indeed engagement bots, which is insane. How do you feel about the new uniforms? I don't hate them, right? Yeah, I don't hate them. Don't like them enough to buy one, but I don't hate them. Better crowd for day 2 of Bills camp despite crappy weather once again. Hey, man, we're still out here. We have Connie Walker. All right, guys, so far we have had some pretty solid updates from camp so far. We had Skylar Bell had a miscommunication. Josh Allen made him run it again. Love that sort of leadership. Bills top 4 linebackers of the day. We already have Bernard, Dorian Williams, Caleb Alarmzor, and Keontae Jenkins, which makes me think maybe we could be bringing in a vet linebacker. You had Kilgore had a pass breakup. D. Alford had a pass breakup. CJ Gardner-Johnson and Cole Bishop are communicating beautifully. The DJ Moore and Josh Allen connection is great. They connected on a 60-yard touchdown pass and a 40-yard touchdown pass. I mean, you can't be upset. Bills' 5th round defensive tackle, Zane Durant. He had a would-be sack against Kyle Allen. And the Bills' D-line is getting a lot of pressure. Which you love to see. You love to see it. I find it funny that 3 of our starting players last season, Bosa, Thompson, and Cooks, are still free agents. Maybe tells you that no teams thinks they're actual difference makers. And that probably should be a pretty good sign to you that Sean McDermott had a really good, he had a strong say at what this roster looked like. Signs like that should probably point it out. Let me see. Worst part about your job, Dan, is having to repeat yourself over and over again. And with the Eddie Sports Media, I struggle with that. Hey, it's completely fine, man. It's completely fine. I am completely cool with me having to repeat myself for people that may be joining the show late. I'm fine with it. Dan, how true you are about all the talk about DJ Moore's picture with everyone's including media. He'll prove everybody wrong. These drills are just a sign of things to come. I mean, hey, Jason, you and I are on the same page. I, have been very optimistic about the addition of DJ Moore since it was announced. And I really can't wait for people to see exactly what I believe in the young man. Do we have news on the whiteout rivalry jerseys? Are those scrapped and the Nickel City ones are replacing them? Haven't heard anything about the rivalries jerseys. I do know that the Nickel City jerseys will be worn twice. We have red helmets that will be worn once. It's kind of tough for me to think that we would also wear a Nike rivalries jersey this year. Say that we do, then when are we really going to be wearing our normal uniforms? Maybe we're becoming like the Oregon Ducks of the NFL. I don't know, because we have a lot of options. So for those of you that got sick of the same redundant normal Bills uniforms, I mean, your wish has been granted, but holy hell. I mean, so they are feeding us with a fire hose with all of these new additions. Spencer Brown, false start during 11-on-11. Bills had trouble getting out of the huddle on the next play. Multiple would-be sacks. First and second. You love to see it. Look at that. What's up, Dan? Good to be back. Jax, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Guys, 253 of you are in the building. Let's talk business. Wearing rivalries once, that's confirmed. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. We will be wearing the rivalries soon. Say that I'm a gambling man. Here, hold up. Teams that get rivalries jerseys in 2026. What division? Let's see. Okay, the Houston Texans, the Colts, and the Chicago Bears. Okay, so the Bears, Lions, Packers, Minnesota Vikings, Texans. Okay, so it's AFC South and it's NFC North. So we could be wearing them against any one of those opponents. Except for I think with the NFL, they don't typically wear your rivalries jerseys for both teams. I think that would be cool. Like, say, the Buffalo Bills when we go to Green Bay. And so I think we're going to Green Bay this year, right, guys? Yeah, Lions and Bears are at home. I know that. So we are going to Green Bay. That would be sick. So you have both teams with rivalries jerseys have to wear them when they're playing with each other. I think that's pretty sick, but I guess it really just depends on what the jerseys look like. Something to think about. Spencer Brown, false start. We're seeing this, folks. We probably have about 20 minutes left, I think, because practice ended at about 9 yesterday. So that might be the case. We wear them for a home game. My Christmas will be stressful to include watching the Bills and 76ers game at home. Good God. Dan, random dumb question. Do you have Netflix? I do. Punching the under for the rivalries game, LOL. I think all but one of those teams lost wearing the jerseys. Good God. And the irony of Dan saying, if I was a betting man when everyone knows he is a betting man. I am a betting man. Indeed. I am a betting man. So I will say this. That's probably how I should start rephrasing things. Katie Robertson, we only wear our rivalry jersey against the AFC East. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. I thought it was only last. Well, yeah, maybe you're right. Rivalries. Yeah, what am I thinking? It only makes sense to wear them against your divisional opponents. I get it. The AFC South and NFC North are getting theirs this year. I love that. I saw Dan robbing somebody at gunpoint yelling, gang, gang. Don't be telling these people my personal life. I'm just kidding. I did not do that. Statement, I forgot to mention Trey White is still a free agent, but low-key he might retire. We'll see. Do you think the Bills will make it to the Super Bowl this year? I hope so. But then again, I'm starting to get exhausted predicting that Buffalo is going to go to the big game because, I don't know. I suppose until proven otherwise, what do you do? What do you do? Guys, we have 236 of you watching right now. I cannot thank you enough for tuning in to our training camp live play-by-plays. You are watching this on the Bills Roundtable show. Several of you are probably already subscribed to my main channel. This channel is where myself, Z-Bot from Buffalo Fanatics, and Kevin Masari meet weekly to discuss everything Buffalo Bills. So that show is today at 4 p.m. EST. So say, for example, that you guys want to rock in and listen to not only myself, but also our two co-hosts' opinions on what is happening at camp. make sure not only you're subscribing to this channel, but turning on bell notifications. We would love to have 200 plus watching us today. A lot more news is going to come out once this is all said and done. So yeah, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys for rocking with this new show right over at Roundtable Sports. Bills secondary is the most exciting part of this defense. Benford has a chance to be one of the better corners in the league. Bishop took a huge leap last year, and CJ Gardner-Johnson looks like he'll fit in very well. Get growth and development for Harrison and IGB, and they have the potential to be a really solid secondary. I would agree with everything Mike Bunch has said. Secondary has never been a fear of mine, especially since you can transition that. A scheme change mostly just affects the front seven. Yes, I understand we will be incorporating a lot more man coverage on the secondary side of things, but yeah, I mean, I would have to agree. I may be the minority, but I would be good with Trey White being brought back in as a backup vet. He did well for most part last season. You and I are on the same page. I don't think you're a minority either on that take, Mike. I think a lot of people actually would agree with you here. Do we know what uniforms we will be wearing for each game? Don't know. I think that they'll announce it, but don't know when that's going to happen. Should have made a home rivalries jersey too. Butchery for a free agency. Who should we pick up? Brian Webster. Brian Webster, my guy. CJ Gardner-Johnson breaks up a bomb. Breaks up a bomb from Josh Allen targeting Josh Palmer. Damn. Come on, man. Jay's coming in. Dan, what's the last movie you watched recently? Last movie? Dude. What's the last movie? So I was watching the documentary last night on Netflix for the Idaho 4 killers. And so that was interesting. Movie. Fuck, dude. I don't know. It's been a minute. One thing I can tell you is that I am going to see Spider-Man here in 2 days. I'm very excited about that. So I am going to watch Spider-Man on Saturday. But like last movie I went to go like see in theaters. Yeah, it's an entire different conversation. What jerseys are we going to be wearing for Christmas and Thanksgiving? I don't know. What are your thoughts on Keon? They better keep Alfred away from Josh Palmer. He's the one that injured him. Oh my God. Caleb Alarms or breaks up a pass from Josh Allen. Bills rookie linebacker already making plays. You love to see that. You love to see that, man. Caleb Alarms or already, dude. I mean, dude, what can you do, man? 7-on-7s. We are live at training camp. 223 of you in here rocking with me. I appreciate you. Let's get in here. I think I saw the Dolphins wearing rivalries week 17 versus the Bills. What that means, Bills wear them. Last year, I think only the home team won the rivalries. That was the only time. Pretty sure red helmet throwbacks on Christmas versus Denver. I heard that from Matthew Beauvais. Taking my son to see Spider-Man Sunday. I can't wait. Now I just need to avoid as many spoilers as humanly possible because so they're floating all around the internet, so I cannot doom scroll at all today. Dan the man, Hector, what's going on, man? It's been a while, all right. He hasn't been going live a lot throughout this offseason, but now he is finally. Glad to be asking my guy Dan some questions. No issue, man. I'm here. Someone was criticizing me for asking Dan non-football questions. It's okay, guys. Look. We have some downtime during these streams, which is ideal. CJ Gardner-Johnson has been the best Bills defender through these first 2 days of Bills camp and arguably the best player overall, getting players set, making adjustments, coaching players, fitting the run, and making plays in coverage. being sound in his responsibility. Michael Hoyt is participating in an 11 on 11. That's a big update, folks. Michael Hoyt is participating in 11 on 11s. Multiple would-be sacks for the Bills. Love that. TJ Sanders. We have TJ Sanders bats a Josh Allen pass down at the line of scrimmage. Good period for the defense here. Allen also mishandled the snap. You love to hear that. TJ Sanders, tip pass. Josh Allen mishandled a snap in 11 on 11s. Love seeing the defense making plays. You and I both. Dan, you said you were a betting man. Maybe don't bet your hair again this year. I am not. I'm not betting my hair anymore. That was a rough couple of months. CJ Gardner-Johnson sounds like a real professional on the field. Dude, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Dan, can you shout out my dad, Jorge? Tell him he sucks at fantasy. Hector, your son wanted me to tell you. Jorge, excuse me. Your son Hector wanted me to tell you that you suck at fantasy football. Love you, Jorge. All right. Blame Hector. All right. Blame Hector, not me. Dan, what game would the Bills wear the Nickel City jerseys? They don't announce that until in season. Glad your hair is back, though. Me too. Me too, man. Was a rough little bit. Joe Andreessen intercepted Kyle Allen. Come on, baby. Come on with it. Okay, yeah, Terrell Bernard or Dorian Williams take any defensive reps today. Both participated in individual drills, excuse me. Bernard and Dorian Williams only participated in individual drills today. Okay. Sounds like Caleb Alarms-Orr is getting his work in today, baby, and I love to see it. And I love to hear it, actually. We have Josh Allen and DJ Moore. Get used to it, they say. You love to see it. Now, 1-year deal for CJ is fine. He has a hard time staying with teams for long term for good reasons. Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Big time Joe Brady or big time Joe Baby. Okay, look at that. You have Keontae Jenkins, middle linebacker, 1 season. You know, Uncle Phil, man, dude, listen, my guy, like Uncle Phil, loves the underdog. So do I, my friend. I'm really big into the underdog, you know? All right, folks. All right, guys, look. A lot of updates on the defensive side of the football. Like, soon as we started complaining that the defense wasn't really, like, locking in, thank God we got a bunch of really good updates. Sounds like CJ Gardner-Johnson and Cole Bishop are communicating beautifully. Bills' 5th-round defensive tackle, Zane Durant, just had a would-be sack against Kyle Allen. Beat his man clear off of the line. So, of course, you have Zane Durant doing well. You have Caleb Alarms-Orr with a pass breakup. D. Alford with a pass breakup. Michael Hoyt was participating in 11 on 11s. Sanders had a tip pass. And Andreessen intercepted Kyle Allen. I mean, sounds like the defense is causing havoc, man. And we wanted to see that. We wanted to see that. We wanted to see it. Man, you did. Zane Durant just blew past Lloyd Cushenberry for a would-be sack, his second of the day. Rookie looks explosive. Chat. I just want to see it when it counts. How do you unlock a membership? Just hit the join button, my friend. Got a lot of talent. I think they can be good. I agree. I totally agree. But we will not know until week 1. And we definitely won't know anything until and we definitely won't know really a shred of evidence until pads go on, which is next week. Yep, saw that as well. CJ Gardner-Johnson is the best player in camp. Josh Allen and DJ Moore, get used to it. Zane Durant with another would-be sack. This is big stuff, man. And do you have notes on how other teams' training camps are going? I highly recommend that you tune in next week to each and every single Roundtable Sports divisional show. All right. It's not only AFC East Roundtable, it's NFC North, it's NFC West, it's AFC South. We ended up recruiting the top YouTuber or one of the top YouTubers for every fan base, and we put them together for a debate show every single week. If you want an inside look at what else is happening throughout training camp, tune in next week because we have the full slate out. You will be hearing training camp reports from all across the league if you want to stay informed. All right. So it's not only this channel, it's the AFC East Roundtable, which is attached to said channel. And then once you go to the Roundtable Sports channel by itself, you will see all affiliated channels. So highly recommend, say you guys are like NFL aficionados and you're not just Buffalo Bills only. Those are the best shows to stay informed of everything happening across the league because you're hearing it from actual fans who are as plugged in as Z-Bob from Buffalo Fanatics, as myself, as Kevin when it comes into the Bills. So highly recommend, if y'all are ever interested in what's going on in other divisions or like team news, that's the best way to stay informed. And y'all supporting our various shows would mean the world to me too, you know? So he slid in the draft, in my opinion. So glad we snagged him. Rookie's looking good. Seem like let's just hope this carries on when the pads. I agree. You'll love it. Trust me. Thank you. And congrats on the company growth and CEO status. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. It's busy, but it's rewarding. It's cool. D. Alfred has flashes positively through the first 2 days of Bills camp and coverage, man and zone, and versus the run. Good eyes and feet. Bills may have found a stud indeed. Just please no injuries. I think that's what that's my number one want once training camp concludes. Just get out unscathed. Is there any news on safety Jalen Kilgore? He had a pass breakup today. Based off of what Jim Leonard has been saying about him, we might be seeing a lot of him in various packages. Swiss Army knives. I remember noticing Durant a lot when I was watching Penn State games last year. Definitely could be a game changer. I mean, hell, maybe he's the other starting 4-eye. Secondary looks deep. If Zane Durant is this good, imagine Greg, Zane, Ed, and Chubb on the line at the exact same time. Guys, look, like we talk about training camp. We talk about like training camp battles. And as far as inside linebacker, that's always one that comes to light. Same thing with left guard. But a sneaky battle I feel like a lot of us aren't talking about is who is going to be the other end. It's clear Big Ed is going to be the starting end, right? Or your 4-eye. Who's going to be the other one? Right now, according to the depth chart, it's TJ Sanders. But we're hearing that Zane Durant has been going off, right? We have also been hearing that Landon Jackson has been taking reps as the 4-eye this year as well. That's a sneaky competition. Who's going to be the opposite starting end to Ed Oliver? I don't know. Josh Allen to DJ Moore on the sideline. Nice job getting his feet in bounds. You love to see it. You love to see it. Wonder if Toriano Pride Jr. will flash. More DB ain't bad. His dad watches my show. He sent me a DM 3 days ago saying that he loved my gray hoodie. And I told him how excited I was for his son to be on the team. He's blazing speed, man. I really am looking forward to hearing updates on him. Dan, what was the fantasy football advisor you used to talk to? Is it RotoWire? RotoWire is coming back, man. We are actually going to be plugging that starting next week. Something to think about, my friend. RotoWire on the AFC East Roundtable. It is a fantasy football media draft kit, and we will be letting you know about that next week. You have cornerback Max IGBD Bishop, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Kilgore Hancock. My draft sleeper, Toriano Pride at CB4. How do I get a job at Roundtable? What are your skills? What are your skills, my friend? Send me a DM with some resume stuff, and we can have a conversation. So we hired a sales guy, and we also hired a director of operations, like more business-minded people. Since realistically, me and Richie and TD, we're creators first. But send me the resume, man. Send me a DM. We'll hook it up. Let's go, Buffalo. Always gonna bring home the Lombardi. I hope so. This is a beautiful thing. If Hoyt and Landon Jackson are healthy and Sanders improve, same with Walker, we might have a very good deep defensive line. How does Tyler Bass look in training camp? Any concerns? I haven't heard a thing about Tyler Bass. Since he was hurt last year in training camp on wet field conditions, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't take any reps at all today. Won't be surprised if Stone and or D-Ham don't make the 53. Me neither. Nice, I actually use Game Day Men's Health now. Your ads work on me. Dude, look, when it comes to my ads, some people get upset so when I do brand deals, but one thing I can tell you is that I don't work with any company unless I like their product. Like, you're never going to see me plug something that I don't truly believe is a good business and would help my audience. That much I can promise you. I will never plug anything that I don't truly believe is a good product or a good service. So I'm glad that what Game Day Men's Health has helped. I'm assuming you hopped on TRT, perhaps? I don't know. Dan, and do you think this can be Brandon Beane's best draft since time will tell, man? We're going to have to wait a year or two to see how it transitions. Bass got a new Timberland boots. He'll be fine. Bass looked like a stud out in the golf course. Should be healthy and ready. Jalen Kilgore on a Kyle Allen deep ball and a celebration after. Two nice plays for the... Oh, dude, look at this. Jalen Kilgore, dude. You love to see this. Come on, man. Dan, you do you. You get your bread up. Thank you. And so are you staying live for post-practice press conferences? Unfortunately, I can. I have a meeting. But once this is all said and done, those Blue Chew ads help me out a lot. Oh, my God. Blue Chew, dude. Come on. Blue Chew, baby. You guys are insane. You guys are insane. Hey, man, look. Helping you out when I can. All right, folks. That's going to have to do it for today's episode. Nice little 2-hour, 15-minute stream. Again, want to remind you that myself, Zbot, and Kevin Masari will be live on this channel exactly at 4 p.m. EST. So subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications. We will see you later with everything we've got out of training camp today. Really busy. Love all of you, and we will see you later. Peace.